Hello, welcome to Love Lust Betrayal. Subscribe if you like our stories. Let's dive into the story. My wife left me after her glow-up, believing she deserved better, but karma had other plans. Our marriage seemed solid, or at least I believed it was. 7 years together had forged what I thought was an unbreakable bond. We had laughed, cried, and fought like any other couple, but we always found our way back to each other. Sophia and I were partners in everything, until the day she decided she wanted more. It started innocently, almost imperceptibly. Sophia joined a gym, citing a desire to get healthier. I fully supported her, even cheering her on as she adopted a new diet and committed to a fitness routine. It was inspiring, really, to see her determination. "This is great for you," I told her one evening. "I'm proud of you." She smiled, but there was something different in her eyes, something distant. As weeks turned into months, her progress was undeniable. Sophia's confidence soared as she shed weight, toned her muscles, and began to carry herself with a new sense of pride. I was happy for her, but alongside her physical transformation came an emotional shift. She became preoccupied, engrossed in her new lifestyle to the point where I felt like a stranger in my own home. Initially, I didn't think much of it. I chalked it up to her newfound focus. I even joined her at the gym a few times, hoping to share in her journey, but it quickly became clear that this wasn't about us. It was about her. "You should take better care of yourself," she said one evening, her tone dripping with subtle judgment. Her eyes scanned me critically, and for the first time, I felt self-conscious. "What do you mean?" I asked, half laughing, trying to brush it off. "I mean, you could stand to lose a few pounds. It wouldn't hurt to tone up." Her words stung more than I let on. Was this the same woman who once loved my quirks, who had always said I was perfect, just the way I was? Still, I let it slide. I wanted to be supportive, to encourage her progress, but as time went on, her comments grew sharper, and her presence at home became fleeting. Late nights at the gym turned into late nights out with her new friends, a group of fitness enthusiasts who seemed to worship the ground she walked on. Her phone became a constant companion. I'd catch her smiling at messages, her fingers flying over the screen. When I asked about it, she'd dismiss me. "Just the girls," she'd say. But deep down, I knew there was more to it. Her Instagram was the biggest giveaway. It had transformed into a curated showcase of her new life. Gym selfies, motivational captions, and an endless stream of likes and comments from strangers who showered her with praise. She basked in the attention, while I was left on the sidelines feeling invisible. One evening, as we sat at the dinner table in silence, she finally dropped the bomb. "I think we need a divorce," she said, her tone cold and detached. I froze, the fork in my hand hovering midair. "What? Where is this coming from, Sophia?" She sighed heavily, as though my confusion was an inconvenience. "I've changed, and you haven't. I want more out of life, out of a partner. I deserve better than this." Her words hit like a gut punch. "What do you mean, better?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. "I mean, I want someone who matches my energy, someone who understands my goals. We've grown apart." Her gaze was unflinching, and in that moment, I realized she had already made up her mind. I tried to reason with her, reminding her of the love we once shared, the memories we had built together. But my words fell on deaf ears. Sophia wasn't interested in saving our marriage. She was already halfway out the door. A week later, she packed her bags and moved out. I watched in silence as she loaded her car, the life we had built together reduced to a few suitcases. "This is for the best," she said before driving off, her tone devoid of emotion. The days that followed were some of the darkest of my life. The house felt hollow without her, a constant reminder of what I had lost. I buried myself in work, trying to distract myself from the pain, but it was always there, gnawing at the edges of my mind. Sophia, on the other hand, seemed to thrive. Her social media painted a picture of freedom and excitement. She was traveling, partying, and surrounding herself with a new crowd of equally fit and glamorous people. Friends tried to comfort me, saying she'd regret her decision, but I didn't believe them. Sophia seemed so sure of herself, so convinced that she was trading up. It wasn't until a mutual friend mentioned her new relationship that I began to feel the first stirrings of anger. She had left me for someone else, a man she met through her fitness community. He was everything she claimed to want. Fit, ambitious, and as obsessed with appearances as she had become. At first, I was crushed. How could she replace me so easily? But as time went on, my heartbreak turned into resolve. I decided I wouldn't let her decision define me. If she thought I wasn't good enough, I'd prove her wrong. Not for her, but for myself. Little did I know, Sophia's perfect new life was far from what it seemed. While I was quietly rebuilding myself, karma was preparing to pay her a visit. At first, Sophia seemed to thrive. Her social media posts painted a picture of freedom and excitement. She was traveling, partying, and surrounding herself with a new crowd of equally fit and glamorous people. Meanwhile, I focused on rebuilding my life. I threw myself into work, reconnected with old friends, and started taking care of my health, not to win her back, but to feel good about myself again. Then, the cracks in her perfect facade began to show. It started subtly. Friends who had stayed in touch with Sophia mentioned that she was struggling to keep up with her new lifestyle. The parties and lavish outings weren't as glamorous as they seemed. They were draining her emotionally and financially. The people she surrounded herself with weren't friends. They were opportunists who thrived on superficial connections. And then, there was the man she left me for. It turned out he wasn't the perfect match she thought he was. He was charming and attentive at first, but his true colors soon emerged. He was controlling, dismissive of her feelings, and quick to criticize her. The very qualities she claimed to want in a partner, support, understanding, and love, were nowhere to be found. One day, out of the blue, I received a call from Sophia. Hearing her voice again was jarring, but what she said next shocked me even more. I made a mistake, she admitted, her voice trembling. I thought I wanted something different. But I was wrong. You were always there for me, and I threw it all away. I didn't know how to respond. Part of me wanted to lash out, to remind her of the pain she caused. But instead, I stayed silent, letting her words sink in. I miss us, she continued. I miss you. Can we talk? Maybe we can fix things. I took a deep breath, my mind racing. Months ago, I would have jumped at the chance to take her back, to rebuild what we had. But now, I realized something important. I didn't need her anymore. Sophia, I said calmly, I'm glad you've realized what you lost, but I've moved on. You left because you thought you deserved better, and maybe you did. But so do I. I deserve someone who values me for who I am, not for who they think I should be. There was silence on the other end, and then a quiet, I understand. Sophia's decision to leave had been a painful wake-up call. But in the end, it gave me the strength to rediscover myself. Her glow-up may have backfired, but mine was just beginning. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and press the bell icon.